Shah.
Just the last week's shir. Last week, the Maamer from ציון במשפט. We learned last week ציון במשפט, the Maamer from the Alter Rebbe. This week we learned the Rebbe's Maamer based on this, the Maamer from the Alter Rebbe. So it starts off ציון במשפט, Shavlat Zdok. Maybe I'm going to put the day to Ramas. The Rebbe brings him with the same beginning, right in the beginning of the Maamer, he says, these words that I command you today, that's the pasuk. What does it mean I command you today? It's referring to every single day. Why is this? Every day it's supposed to be like new. As the Eibush is telling us, I'm commanding you today. Today, with Aleph Ov, every single day, the Eibush is telling us, I'm telling you today. Why? Because really we have a commandment that every day should be like new. Like today we were commanded the Tainus, the whole Tainus is given to us today. The Alter Rebbe says in the Maamer, Tzim Mishma. Vayan explains, how do we come to this state of feeling ten mitzvahs? Every day it should be like new. His one is the pasuk zaguf, but through my thinking into this pasuk itself. Don't think about the pasuk. The pasuk says these are the words that I command you today, which means these havas kol ha'elamis. He mimidas hamalchus. The creation of all worlds comes only from Malchus. In the kingdom of the Eibush, it's not just a ray from Hashem. He relates to others. It's not the way he is for himself. As opposed to doing mitzvahs in this world, that causes who I'm shachas ha'atzmus. We get the essence of a Eibush. That's the Asher Anechi Mitzav Chayim. This is why it says Asher Anechi Mitzav Chayim. Anechi Misha Anechi, the essence of the Eibush, which is beyond any description. And that's dimshach. That we gain by doing mitzvahs. And therefore we find it's better one moment of doing Torah mitzvahs in this world than the whole world to come. Why? The whole Ilam Haba is that you have a note from Ziva Shchina, which is Ziv Bilvat. It's only a ray of the Shchina. Like they Tshuva Ma'asim Tevim B'Elam Hazeh, Amshach Sa'atzmus, as opposed to Tshuva Ma'asim Tevim B'Elam Hazeh, we get the essence of the Eibishter. That's what he says. It's Yov Shach Tshuva Ma'asim Tevim B'Elam Hazeh, Mikol Chai Ilam Haba. From all levels of Ilam Haba, all the levels of Ilam Haba, like you mentioned last week, Adichis, all the levels, Gan Eden, Gan Yinel, Gan Atachta, all the levels are all Or Levad. As opposed to Torah mitzvahs, Tshuva Ma'asim Tevim, we have the essence of the Eibush Shach Sa'atzmus. Zeh, Asher Neichi Mitzav Chayim, Hayim Davke. When do we have a Neichi Mitzav that the Eibush himself is commanding us? This Davke today, Hayim Davke, Hayim Laseisum L'mochel L'kabel Schorim. Today is the time to do it, and tomorrow we get the Schar. The Schar Mitzvah, Be'elam Haba, the Schar Mitzvahs that we get in the world to come, L'mochel L'Ragziv. The Schar Mitzvah that we get in the world to come is only a ray from the Eibush. They came into Be'elam Hazeh, Hayim Laseisum, but they're doing mitzvahs in this world. And they came into Be'elam Hazeh, Hayim Laseisum, Amshich Ma'atzmus. As opposed to doing mitzvahs in this world, Hayim Laseisum, we get Atzmus, the essence of the Eibush. So this is what he says. So this is what he says, that the gain of doing mitzvahs today, you get the essence of the Eibush. As opposed to all the levels of Leilam Haba, is all Or Levad. It's only a ray of Hashem. By there is bonus, but even Neichi Mitzav Chayim. A person thinks into this fact that it's a Neichi Mitzav Chayim, that who's commanding us today? It's a Neichi. Shadei Mitzayim Be'elam Hazeh Nimshcha Atzmus a Neichi. That a person will think to himself that from doing mitzvahs today, I'm getting the essence of the Eibishter. Through this is going to cause that the mitzvahs, the doing of the mitzvahs, is going to be in a way of Hayim. Every day his mitzvah will be like something new. Why? Because he knows that here he's getting the essence of the Eibishter. So he'll be so excited, like a new thing. That's what he says. When is he going to gain that it should be like a new thing? Only when he realizes that by doing mitzvahs he has the essence of the Eibishter. So therefore it's like a new thing. What's the hezbollah we'll soon see. Because the whole Maamer is going to come to explain why is it that when I know that by doing mitzvahs I gain the essence of the Eibishter, that gives him the strength that should be chadosh mamish, should be mamish like new. But this is what he says, the Bible. He doesn't explain it yet. The Rebbe is going to explain it by the great length. Maamer includes in the Maamer the calls of feature torachlis. This is the way it's supposed to be. The Eibush is telling us that the Torah mitzvah should be to you which I'm commanding you today, that should be new to you like today. And how does that happen? By thinking into the fact of Anochi Mitzav Chayim, that I, the Eibishter himself, is commanding us today, is giving us the mitzvahs. Tshuva Ma'aseh Tevim today. So this is all the way it should be. Avol Kshe'eini came when it's not so. And what gets him excited? What gets him down? His worldly matters. Then is the godly spark that's within him is in exile and his nefesh habayim is kerochel, just like a sheep which comes silent in front of the ones that shear the wool off her. And this is the pasuk says, ציון bמשפט ייפדד, the neshama will be redeemed through mishpat, through Torah, learning mishnayos, like it says in the Maamar, could look at Tziftes. So, but Tzorach Lahov is of the Rebbe in the second paragraph. But Tzorach Lahov, we have to understand. Even if the mitzvahs wouldn't be like something new, he could do the mitzvahs with livelihood, with excitement. But till not just time excitement, more than that, this will be the main thing of the Yid. But the Mimash, of course, from the fact that the Maamar says, that when it's not, so that doesn't have such a state in his existence, in his Kima mitzvahs, that it feels like this is Amshach Sa'etzem, Mashma L'chura, the Kshar mitzvah, Ein Chadashim Be'enov, if he doesn't have this mile, that, or he says when he's not so that it doesn't have the mile of Chadashim Mamish, that today the Eibush is giving it to him, is Mashma L'chura, Kshar mitzvah, Ein Chadashim Be'enov, if it's not new in his eyes, was Vadish Amiris Asim Shleim Yonei Lamad, is for sure that his bitterness, his down and his high is all coming from worldly matters. What's so certain? If he doesn't have the ultimate level of chayis and mitzvahs that's chadoshim mamish, then automatically you say that his whole chayis in the Elam Hazeh. Why is it other? It's like extremes, or he's totally engrossed in Torah mitzvahs and he feels that this is a fresh thing from a new today, or he's excited about Elam Hazeh. There can be a medium way. He didn't get it today. He got it 3,000 years ago, whatever. But he's excited about it because it's connection to Hashem, which is a valuable thing. The Gamzer Lovim, Mashikosu, Maamar, also we have to understand, it says in the Maamar, in order to come to this level, that everything should be like new, everything Torah mitzvah should be like new, or there is bonus, you have to think dafk in the concept of that it's Amshach Sa'etz, and that we have the essence of Hashem. God himself is commanding us today. That through doing mitzvahs in this world, we gain a connection to the essence of Hashem. Which is much greater, a lot greater than the schar mitzvahs in the world to come, which is only a ray of Hashem. So the Rebbe asks, why do you have to think at such a high level? We know that the pleasure in the world to come is a very great pleasure, like it says, that he brought it in the Maamar last week. I think he brought it. He brings here in the order over here from Sefer HaMitzvah, from Derech Tzesecha. That it says that was worth to punish Acher in order he should come to the world to come, to have the timing of Gan Eden, which is Or Levad, because the timing of Gan Eden is such a great time that's worth all suffering in order just to come the pleasure of Gan Eden Atachten. Certainly Gan Eden Elyon, which is bleakful, much higher, it doesn't come to, we can't imagine even the pleasure which is going on over there. Frat, and especially the Rebbe specifies even more so, what's does it mean Elam Hab over here? Not all in Gan Eden, it's also referring to Elam Atchiyah, which means Tchis HaMesim. So if it's referring to Tchis HaMesim over here, we're saying Shagil Shib Elam Atchiyah Unaila Harbi Yesim Agil Gan Eden, which the revelation Elam Atchiyah is much greater than the revelation Gan Eden, like it's explained in other Maamar from the Rebbe. The mile of why even all the neshamas that were 3,000 years in Gan Eden, still they're going to come down to this world to be here by Tchis HaMesim, because the experience of the Eibush that's going to be then is much greater than even the highest level of Gan Eden. So even if you're going to think about the greatness of Elam Haba, that will be enough. So when a person is even going to think about the greatness of the schar of the mitzvahs which is happening in the world to come, that will give him a great excitement to do mitzvahs. But the Maamar says no. In order that a person should have excitement in Torah mitzvah, that this should be a new thing to him and not something old. So at least you have to dafke think in the concept of anechi mitzav chayim, that the Eibush himself is itself giving us the mitzvahs. Which that's the mile of the Eimla Seisam Shalom Mailam L'mocher L'kabel Scharim. It's not enough to think about the schar of the Mabo. You have to think about the mile of Eimla Seisam, that after today we're connected with Atzmas. There's a side question: how could it be that we don't get the schar of what we're doing, it's not masim, it doesn't fit to what we're doing. Today we're mamshech atzmus. And the whole ilam haba is only going to be or levad. How does that fit together? If we're accomplishing amshach etzem, why don't we get the etzem? It's only ilam haba. Even the samesim is only or levad, he says. It's a side question. You can check it up in the Sichos and Vayigash and Chelik Kei. You can check up the answer for that. It's a side question. Just if it's going to come up to you, you shouldn't think it's not a question. It's a question. It's brought down on Chassidus. Now, component the question from this Maamar is he's asking two questions. At what? Why is it so certain that if he doesn't have the excitement, it's not Chadoshim Be'inav, so for sure he's going to have the downs and the high and the lows is going to be from Yon Elam Hazeh. Also, you ask why in order to have the chayes and terem mitzvahs, you need to have these bonus in the amshach etzem. Why is there no other way to connect with to have a chayes and terem mitzvahs? You have a chayes and terem mitzvahs even with these bonus in the tainig of Gan Eden, the tainig of Ilam Haba. Why do you have to think about amshach etzem that happens through mitzvahs, the amshach etzem that happens today when we do a mitzvah? You've to understand these two questions. It will be understood in Sif Beis Behagdim by introducing Shabbadesh B'chol Yiminach Kachadoshim and Egil B'china Shalamayim Mishinui. How do you have the concept that every single day you should feel like a new thing? You have to have a revelation of something which is hide and change. And therefore, since it's hide and change, it's able to, you should always have the same feeling. Since the world is time and space, or space and time, it's the whole shadow. What's a bigger Agbola? Is a Agbola of space a bigger Agbola, or Agbola of time a bigger Agbola? It's a side note. But here's the Din of Zman, because he's speaking of the Din of Chadoshim. Shebechol Yom B'Benach Chadoshim doesn't change. He's always constantly feeling that everything's new. So he says the gather of time, that's the gather of the world. Shezman Hu Shinui. Time is change. That the whole idea of time. How do you measure time? Change of scenery. You were here this moment, and the second later you're a different moment, a different state of existence, a different place, a different whether it's place mamish, time and place work together. How do you measure time? Shina Amerois. Different change of action, a different place, a different experience, different. Everything's changed every moment. That's how do you.
Time and place work together.
Yeah, because how do you measure time?
Depends where in the world you are.
Yeah, but how do you measure time? You in your world, in your life, how do you measure time? Because you were here a minute ago. You were here, and now you're here. Now you're in a different place.
Yisrael is a different time.
We're in the world. I'm saying the etzem union of time. Forget about if it's now 11 o'clock at night or it's 6 in the morning. We're speaking about how do you measure time? The click of the watch. That's one way. Then there's bichlal. The mere fact that I the shinimay rois, the change of scenery. That 5 minutes ago I was out of shul. Now I'm in shul. Or even sitting in shul and how I'm thinking, what I'm doing. Everything changes every second. Things change. Nothing stays in one state of one pattern of existence. We change every moment, every second. That's the measuring of time, I think. Brought down from earlier. Time is changed. So what could cause that every moment we should feel like new is only when you have the revelation of the Eibishter, which is higher than coming to the world, which that's Eira Sev, which that's the light of the Eibishter, the expression of the Eibishter, with the revelation of the Eibishter, which is higher than the limitations of the world. The Eira Mislabish Be'elim, as the Rebbe says, the light, the expression of the Eibishter, the revelation of the Eibishter, which comes into the world. Eira Mamale, Ubabitzir Mubul Hachs and Ibrahim Lufiyarkam, comes in a limited way. He gives life to every creature according to what it is. Just like the nefesh comes to the body, it's the body, it gives him chayis every he touches it. Just like the nefesh gives the body the life in a way, every limb in its way, that's type of life that it needs. So to the Eibishter gives the world life, every nivra according to what it needs. He touches right inside. Just like chayis and nefesh come to the body, is accordingly. Whatever he needs, he gets every single limb. And every limb, the life is according to what it needs. So too is in the light of Mamale, the revelation of the Eibishter gives life to the world in Eiflam Mamali. That's HaKadosh Baruch Hu Mamali Salam. He fills the world, which means he comes according to the world. The life of every creature is according to what he needs, what he could handle, what he needs. It's madregas, every level, every madregas in this world. Also, go for there's madregas, like it says in Alter Rebbe brings madregas in Perek Beis. There's never shukul neshama, and in every one of these, there's also never shukul neshama. And there's adding kef there's madregas of the shamas and the malochim b'chol v'chol. So move on. For this we understand the mikolshkim and the gel gather elam b'cholos. It was referred to the general gather of the world, which is mokim uzman. Shemutad elam mamali yesh shiv elam in shalom uzman mokim. Very sharp words. He says that it's impossible that the world should be higher than time and space. Since he gives life to the world, what it is, and the world is Zman Mokim, forget about every single nivra what it needs. The whole world is under the Agdor of Zman Mokim. So it's impossible, so to speak, that the world should be Mitzad Mamali, which is the union of Mamali is to give life to the world, what it could handle, what it needs, that it should be higher than time and space. Therefore, Mitzad Mamali will never come to this state of being higher than time, higher than Shinuyim. Now that that's a major question. We know that even the air which comes into the world doesn't become part and parcel of the G'darim of the world. Even though he comes and gives the G'darim of the world, he's making the G'darim, but he doesn't become nitfas. It doesn't grasp him. It doesn't change him. It doesn't make him that he should be part and parcel of this way of existence. It's not him. It says in the pasuk, there's nothing kodesh like Havai, like the Eibishter. And it says in Zayar that what does this mean? There's no kodesh like Havai. That there's many types of kedusha, which means that they're removed totally. But the latest kodesh kavaya, there's no kodesh like Havai. What's the chiddush? The chiddush b'kodesh Havai. What's the chiddush in the kodesh Havai? Is shagam shumul lubish. On one hand, he's enclosed in the V'rayim. Some gives them life in a way according to what they need, and they feel it, and they live by it. Still now, in the same moment, the same time, he's removed from that. He can't say that this is him. Yishleiman, he says, this is the meaning of who mekame shleilam ben elam mekame. How do you measure the Eibishter? You say, who mekame shleilam, he gives place to the world. Who mekame shleilam koyel erer mamali. Who's the place of the world? That's referring to Mamali, which Shum Machayas Elam gives life to the world. He's giving the world its place. He's giving a place to the world. He's giving a definition to the world. Every world has its definition, and then the world has a definition. Who gives it to the definition? Er Mamali. Even though he's giving the definition to the world, but that doesn't define him. It's coming from him, but it's not him. He's higher than that. So why would you need to use Eira Seviv in order to make that the world should be higher than Shinuyim? That the world should be higher than Shinuyim. Eira Mamali itself is not nitfas in the Shinuyim that he makes, in the Shinuyim that he makes, the in of Zman HaMokim that he makes. So he says, that's true that the Eir, Mitzadatzme, in his world, he sees himself, he didn't become part and parcel of the world. Even after he comes, gives life to the world, but he stays b'pshitas. But that's only true in regard to the Eir. That means what he shows the world. Says in other words, he has a tafkid Eir Mamali, as it's sagen. And that grow. Eir Mamali, his inyan is to be mechai the world in the Eifim Mugbu. That's his inyan. I laugh that the Eir itself is pshitas. He doesn't become the world that he's being mechaye. Who mekame shalom ben elam mekame. It doesn't define him. Everything that's a mock for something else. The reason why it's a mock for something else is because that's his inyan. But by the Eibishter, you can't say that's his inyan. He makes things, but that's not because that's who he is. He does things. He has a tafkid to kiviyochel enem amal. His inyan is to be mechaye the world according every nivra accordingly and befrat the close to have the in of zman hamokim. But to say that that's him, that you can't say that. But it'll pale, and what he gives the world cannot change. He has to give the world kiviyachol only. That's what it says before. It's impossible that should come from this light, from the Eir Mamali, the union of Lamaylam Zman HaMokim. V'lochein, so he concludes. Therefore, therefore we need Eir HaSeviv. Eir Mamali, although he's poshut. But that's only in his world, but not the way what he shows us. What he shows us is a yin of Hagbola. That's his inyan, to give us Hagbola. I take this side of Mamali and come from there, bring out the Ashayla. Like, why do you have to use Seviv? Go to Eretz Mamali Gufas. I'm egal the Pnimis of Eretz Mamali. You must say, or I don't know, the Churi Yeshleimar, that Mitzad Eretz Mamali, since his Inyan is that he has to give the world what it needs, he Kiviyachal is not able to show his inside, his way of view, his view that he's not mugder in the world Hagbolis. That's a mashma for the Maimer. But he's saying, whatever, okay. Since the gather of the world is time and space, moving the Zesha, the Gilera save them Shabbalim in Shalom Zanamokim, who. So he says like this: since the gather of the world is time and space, it's understood. The Zesha, the Gilera save them Shabbalim in Shalom Zanamokim. So how does the world get through Seviv something which is higher than time and space? That the gather of the world loses itself because of the Gil of Erablikva, which is higher than the world. That's what happens to the world when a Seviv is Nizgala. A Seviv is Nizgala, you're Mevatel developed. That also explains why Mitzat Mamali wouldn't be able to happen, because Mamali is calling Yoni is that there should be Zmanamokim. So Mamali, Kaviyachli can't do it. You need Seviv, and how does the Seviv do it? Seviv makes that the world should lose itself for the Erablikva. The Rotzen, the Mashal Seviv, Rotzen is the Mashal for Seviv. We know in Nefesh Adam there's Seichel Midas, that's Pnimim, Keiches Pnimim. That's the Derech Mamali, that's the makeup of the person, his feelings and his intellect. Then you have Rotz, is a Moshe for Seviv, which it's the rules on all the Ivorim and all the Keiches, and tells them how to act, and he could change them and go against their Teva, against their nature. Why is Rotzen rule over all the Ivorim that they should do against their nature? It's because they're bottled to the Rotzen. They lose themselves. Like the Rotzen, they feel they're inferior. They feel they're nothing like the Rotzen. Rotzen is so much overpowering that they lose themselves. So that's what would happen if Eira Sev would make the Gila of Eira Sev would cause that there should be a nimshich in the world. The Yishal Ma'alam Zanamok would happen that the world would lose itself. But since the whole concept we say that every day you should have a chayis and mitzvahs like it's just today was given to us. You should have a life excitement and like a new thing. Something new happens, you get excited. The chayis is a pnimi that he's here, he's alive, he's excited. Since we say here they should be excited, they should feel it. He should really feel the excitement of doing Torah mitzvahs in a way that it's something new. So the eat of l'maylam hazman, which comes in the person, which that should cause, that should be kachadoshim, has to be an eifim pnimi, which that's the opposite of Seviv, wouldn't be able to accomplish it. Because it's not Seviv. When Seviv is revealed into the world, it's mevatel the world. The world's not here. We're not considering ourselves with the world. The world is not doesn't have a say. But here we want two opposites. On one hand, we want to have a chayis in Torah mitzvahs, which means he should be here. The world should be here. He should be excited. And on the other hand, he should be l'maylam hazman. So the Rebbe says, therefore, who could cause that b'chol yem yibenach kachadoshim uzeh shonech mitzav chayim? Who could cause that should be b'chol yem yibenach kachadoshim? Should have excitement in Torah mitzvahs and should be, and the Odom, the person down here, should have excitement in Torah mitzvahs and should be in a way that it's constantly in a way that's a new thing and should be excited. Uzeh shonech mitzav chayim davka nechim shonech shalomayla gami seviv. Therefore, we need even higher than seviv. Till now, we're saying that who could give in the world a union of higher than time and space, higher than change, is dafka seviv. Now he's saying, since the way seviv would give it into the world would be in a way that it breaks the world, and here we don't want to break the world. We want to elevate the world. That the world itself should have excitement and be excited about Torah mitzvahs as if it's given today. How could that happen? That can't be from seviv, because seviv breaks the world. It's just mevatel zman u'mokim. Here you need the world should be existent. So that's why you need to have dafka from anechi, mishanechi, atzmus himself, which is higher than seviv. But you know, so he explains this. The explanation to this is the Eira Blikvul Sheish Deira Seviv who mugder ba'geder the Blikvul, the light of Blikvul, the expression of the Eish, which is infinite, which that's why it's higher than time and space. So it's very high, it's very good, but it's limited to the confinement of bli gvul. Therefore, although Eira bli gvul is everywhere and anywhere, it's revealed everywhere, like we learned last few weeks ago, that the Eibush is revealed everywhere. The way in his view, he's revealed with his whole glory, his full glory is everywhere. Even the Mazagash, that's what's at him. Has nothing to do with the world. And there's two ways you could say what does it mean it has nothing to do with the world. Or we don't feel it at all. We don't feel it. The Eibush is here, but we don't feel it. It's behelim in the world. Or when we do feel it, which is cause that the world should feel something which is higher than time and space, but it's in such a way that the world loses itself for the air. It's not in a way that should take it in a optimistic way. Or he doesn't feel it, or if he feels it, he's not here, the Eibush is here, just like by Rotzen. Or a person is not operating up here Rotzen, he's operating up here Seichel Midas. Or when he's operating up here Rotzen, he's not He's not confining with his Seichel Midas, he's working in a higher plane. But in order that the revelation of the Eibush, which is Bligvul, should be in the world in an inner way, which means it should be able to take it in and live by it. It should be Zman Mokim should live by in of Lamaylam Zman Mokim. It's only through the Eibush himself, which has no definition, not confined in any confinement. He's not mugder in gvul, not mugder in bligvul. Therefore, he could connect the two. Since he has no confinement, no definition, no description at all, he could connect. If you megal kecha atzmis, everything could work together. Yichud save b'mamali. And inside atzmis, then could be the revelation, the connection of the two opposites. Bligvul, it should be a yin of higher than time. And this goof should be his chayis. Yeah, understood? We should go weiter, we should go backwards. Go weiter, okay. It's a per minute, okay. Okay. Shlahesiv says the Rebbe, Vishlahesiv, this that we say, that the concept of B'chol Yim Yivinach Kachadoshim is through the unity of Sefer Mamale. Now the Rebbe says a big Kiddush. It's not just it's not only it's not only because we want here that a person should be bepnimi is the feeling of l'mayla me'azman. That's not the reason. The reason why you need yichud seva mamali is not only that. It's not only because you want two opposites. You want l'mayla me'azman and should be bepnimi is the fusion, which is that's b'keich of atzmos. Aneichim mishaneichim mitzavcha. Elagam mipnei shebain de b'cholim kechadoshim atzmei yeshnam shnei afochim. It's also because in the in of B'cholim Kechadoshim, when you say every day it's new, that itself has two opposites of higher than time and time. Why? The whole concept of something new, the tarka, the geschmack, the chavivus, the preciousness of something which is new, is because it's a change. It wasn't what it was. Wasn't existent, and now it came to existence. And this that we say every day is like new. That we say that every day it's like new means that this chiddush, this change, is in a constant way, doesn't change. So it's two opposites happening. It's oxymoron they call it. Yeah, you say that together with the fact that it's a change. But the change which shows on Zman is L'mayla me'azman. Now comes the reicher word of the yichud of Sefer Mamale. When we say that the inyan of Kolim Kachadoshim is through yichud Sefer Mamale, is not just ulei rak shagili the Sefer L'mayla me'azman nigeshetz b'pnimius. It's not only that now he feels the inyan of L'mayla me'azman, Now, since he's hard in time, so Mele is hard in time, so therefore he can have a chayis and mitzvah like something new because he's hard in time. He doesn't lose his chayis. He's always on a higher plane. At least say to Mizu, more than that. It's not just that the save is bipnimius. It's more than that. At least say to Mizu, shazman atzim shem tzader mamali ubeifin l'mayim mazman b'shina gila save. The zman itself, the change which is ayin of zman, is l'mayim is constant. Zman becomes l'mayim mazman. Not just he took into himself something greater than himself. He becomes higher than time. Time is higher than time. Not just in time. You have something which is higher than time. Time itself is higher than time. That's a much greater yichud, and that's what the Rebbe says, that this yin of is needs, so to speak. A yichud of Sevi Mamali in a much greater level.
Could there be a difference between just drawing down Seviv into time without it also elevating the time itself?
It could come into time, but if it's coming into time, something greater than myself, something higher than time is coming into time, but it doesn't become the in of the time. It's not that it has to be the in of the time. It's just that I have to live on a higher plane. I have to now have excitement of Teda Mitzvah. They just give me something new, and I'm excited about it forever. Or I say the time itself, which I have. What's time? Time is change, and the change is constant. So I'm holding on to the concept that I'm in a world of confinement of change. I need Zman, and the Zman itself becomes higher than time.
It's a little.
It's a fine line, but it's a line.
Yeah.
It's Makom Harim Namidi, yeah. That's all. It says if you want to speak in Zman terminology, it says that the Eibush showed all the Marishan David Deishov. He showed him in one moment. He showed him all the generations, all the darshanim that's going to be in all the worlds and all the generations. It was in one the Kud of Zman. He saw all the Zmanim. It's brought down on Chassidus. Al derech Makom Harim Namidi.
Two ways of Yichud and Mal Seviv.
Yeah.
One is that Seviv is felt with Pnimis like a mile away. The only Mal equals Seviv. Is there a difference between the two? Both when you have
Of course, you both need Yikech Atzmas, but the shaila is what's happening here. Is the taich that I'm feeling something greater than myself into me, or that who I am is the greater thing?
The same thing.
It's two different things.
Both of them are neichi.
Everything needs a neichi, but the shaila is how far is the yichud Sevi Mali? How much do they penetrate each other? Are they working together just because something is empowering? They're both yichud Sevi Mali. They're both yichud Zman L'mayil Mazman. The shaila is how much are they one together? Are they together? Just that I feel something greater than me, or who I am, my inyan of Zman. And I hold on to this, but I need Zman, not just that I gain something l'mayla ma'azman and I have a chayis in it. The Zman itself, the Agbol itself, is l'mayla ma'agbol.
Maybe it's like the difference is like, and you have one moment you feel that it's the moment and it's not, and then the second one is it's every single moment. That's how it is.
Both of them, you're always feeling it.
Okay, every single moment you're feeling. So then what's? Okay.
Both of them, you're feeling it constantly. The shaila is, how much is it penetrating the memali? Is it penetrating the memali just that the memali should also feel it, or that memali itself became higher than time? Say it like this: you go into Rebbe's Farbrengen, for example. You feel something higher than you, and it changes the person. Let's say. So he becomes a different person. Something higher changed him. But did we hang on to his limitations and say, we need your limitation with your akbolas, with all your unique akbolas, and that itself we want should last forever? It's a much greater unification of L'mayil Mazman Zman if he's able to penetrate that the way you are, the way the akbola the world has, the akbola that the limitation of the world is, that it's Zman, and that itself, because I'm Zman, in other words, because I'm Zman, that's why that thing that I have, that unique tchuna that I have, that I'm al mukbal, should last forever. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Shleimar says the Rebbe like this: this that we say the mitzvahs have to be in the way of chadoshim. It's not only in order that the doing of mitzvah should be with more chayis, more excitement. It's not just a side concept. In order to have more chayis and mitzvahs, you need to have kachadoshim. It's mamish nu, so you're gonna be very excited. Elo shegam inyan ze atzmei b'chol yom v'nach kachadoshim negei l'kiyum mitzvahs. It's also negei to kiyum mitzvahs, to the etzem of Torah mitzvahs, not just that you be more chayis. Why? What's the in of mitzvahs? We unite the Eibishter and the Shechina. That's the whole key of Torah mitzvahs. Like the Alter Rebbe brings in Tanya by Riches. How every mitzvah is to connect the Eibishter with the Yidden. Since the Aved of the person, which that's the Asursal Lasat has to, which causes the Amshocha, Asursal Leila, Tzirchlis Me'eina Amshocha. The Aved of the person has to be Me'ein, what he wants to bring down. Therefore, so when a person does mitzvahs in a way that every day it's like new, which that's the in, like we just explained, he's connecting time, memali, with higher than time. Because he constantly feels that something new every day, every shinoi, he feels like it's new and it's constant. It's constantly that he feels like it's new. This causes that should be more revelation of Yichud Seva Mamala, which he causes through mitzvahs. Because he's doing the Yichud Seva Mamala. That's what he's doing in his Kima Mitzvah. In Bechol's Kima Mitzvah is Yichud Seva Mamala. Ubeprotis, he's doing the Evi Kima Mitzvah is their way of Yichud Seva Mamala. So therefore he's accomplishing even more the Gil of Yichud Seva Mamala, which happens through mitzvahs. So this is all explaining why the specialty of doing mitzvahs in a way of b'chol yemi v'nach kachadoshim. Every day I should feel like it's a chidush mamish. It's a new thing. The mitzvahs are a new thing. Every day, every moment, it's a new thing. Which means the zman guf is l'mayla me'azman. Now is a different part of the Maamar. Basically, he's going back to the concept that he says that if a person, Rahman al-Islam, doesn't have this high level of then it could fall into the other category, Rahman al-Islam, that is excitement and is simcha, is Yonei Olam Hazeh. Why is it? So he's going to explain. We still have time, or I don't know the say still have time. Okay. These two concepts of Seva Mali, there's the two shemis of Havai and Elikim. Havai is Seva and Mamali is Elikim. Why is it? It's like explained in many places that Shem Elikim, what's Shem Elikim? Leirak, Hamogim and Artik, Shemayim Mastra, Leir the Shem Havai. Not only the shield, the Elikim, is the covering of Shem Havai. It doesn't let Shem Havai be revealed. That's what Pashtus, you always learn the Pshat of Shem Elikim. That's the helm, Kech HaHelm, Kech HaGvul, Kech HaHelm. So he says more than that. Al Shagame Eir the Shem Havai, K'mishin Nimshech, U'Misamtzim, Ha'dei Shem Elikim, Li Yismokal in the Roim, Shem Chol Seir Mamale, Nikra Elikim, even the Eir of Shem Havai. But if he comes down in a Metzumtzim the way through Shem Elikim to be a source for creations, which that's in general Eir Mamale, that's called also Elikim. So now you have two, fun to look at the Elikim, or the Hel, the Hester, the Kech the Kalim, what we would call it, or even the Eir Mislabish Bekalim is also considered Shem Elikim. It's also a Helim on Shem Havai. Eir Mamali is also Milo on Shem Havai Zitzuzah. You do like and according to what's known, why is the body covered over the soul that we don't see the nefesh? The nefesh comes from Shem Havai, the guf comes from Elikim. So it's like automatic. Just like Elikim hides over Havai, just like Elikim. For whatever reason, has the keach naila that it has able to cover over Shem Havai. So to the guf, since it's coming from Shem Elikim, it has the power to overcover the nefesh. The nefesh is bleak full and all that flows from the nefesh, but still the guf could be mailam on the nefesh. So Shleim says the Rebbe, Shleimar, so from this will take, Shal derech zehu gam be'in the Seva Mamali. Shegam in Mamali nikra Elikim kanal. that even Elam Amal is also called the Likim. That in order that a person should come to such an understanding, such a derher, such a feeling, that the main thing is neshama, and the guf is a tofel who the yichud seva mamale. It's only if you connect seva mamale. If a person lives only by mamale, the guf becomes a yikid. The be'er mamale k'vishum tzad atzmei, be'er mamale on its own. He's connected with the Eibishter. He knows there's Eibishter. He knows there's a creator. But liyesi mokel in Ivroim. But since it's a source for creations, so he says that there's a place for creation. Then the Ivroim takes him mokel magabe, and the Ivroim are somewhat something for him. Even let's say it's explained of Siddur that the Nivroim are tefes mokel magabe mamal to what? That he's a creator. He makes the Nivroim. Even though that they can't exist without him, so maybe they're bottled betachlis, they're bottled be'etzim and they can't exist without him. But at the end of the day, he creates them, so he's a source to them, and he operates his keich hamahais havis through creating the Nivroim. So you can't say that there's nothing to them. Yesh tefisas mokel in Yon Aguf. Therefore, at the end of the day, the Yon Aguf have some somewhat place. It could be even an edel goof. He could realize that he has a creator, but at the end of the day, the Eibush is creating him. So he's a creation. He's a Ian. He's a Metzias. But like that, Yichud Seva Mamale. But if you connect Seva and Mamale, Shagam Be'er K'Mishnais and Mokul Elam was made Agil there in Sof Shalomaylam Elements. That even in the air, which is the way it becomes a source to the world, should shine the light of Hashem, which is the revelation of the Eibush, which is higher than the world's. Which the kula kamei kaloch hashiv, that there's nothing has any value. It's just like not. Atu kem shenivre elam, atu achshel nivre elam, atu mishenivre elam. It's b'shava mamish. The world, no world is the same thing. The world has no value. It's lamata ayin, yichudi ilah. Aideza yeshna kara shenyon agufim rak b'shul neshama. That gives the recognition to the person that why does he have a body? It's only to serve the neshama. It does nothing to it. He realized in the place of Memale came the revelation of Seviv. In Memale, in the Mokr Leilamas, came the revelation of the Eibush is higher than the world. He realizes that his goof is not his. So why does there have a goof? For the Neshama, for Seviv, which that's the Mokr for the Neshama. That Shem Havai is the Mokr for the Yonah and Neshama. And the Memale is, so if you have Yichud Seviv Memale, then he'll realize that the whole reason he has a goof is only for the Neshama. Now understand what it says in Likutei Torah. When a person does not have the concept of b'cholim kechadashim, that it constantly lives in Torah mitzvahs the way that it's a new thing. Azai, what's going to happen? There's ups and downs. It's going to be from worldly matters. Why? Because in order to make the connection of Seva and Memalish, which is caused that worldly matters don't mean anything to him. This is true. This dafka in the kima mitzvah in a way that it's constantly new. When a person has a chayis mitzvah, because he's excited because it's a new thing that happened, which shows that he has by him yichud seva mamale, that causes that the yonel mazah won't mean anything to him. Therefore, if he doesn't have that, what's going to be? He's going to have ups and downs from Yonel Lamazah.
What brings was?
The B'cholim kechadoshim macht ich tzeva mamale.
Wieso wird die Kolim Chadosh?
Wie azay?
Ja.
Das dann mal trachten in mir von is bonus, weil war mir schon nicht zum Chayim.
Doch auch hier tzeva mamale.
Doch der ein von ja, der Mok von Gilke gaat.
Ja, hier geht eins bringt der andere noch zurück.
Sie geht beide zusammen. Aber da kommt wegen Sham Mr. Snafish. Was bringt der Mr. Snafish? Gil Etzem an Sham, der Mr. Snafish bringt Gil Etzem an Sham. What comes first? Sie geht, also wir one brings both. And those octar durch Kima Mitzvah Cholim Chadosh, which is these bonus. That's the Aved Sa'odam that makes it happen. He said before that Aved Sa'odam is the Yisur L'Sata, which causes the Yisur L'Eila.
These bonus.
That's true, these bonus. These bonus, that's coming from Atzmus. B'meila can zayin yichatzei b'mamali. B'meila can zayin b'cholim k'chadoshim. Ashanech mitzav chayim makes Ashanech mitzav chayim. When he realizes that Anech is mitzav chayim, he'll have the recognition that Anech is mitzav chayim, that Eibush is commanding him today. It's a new thing today. That will cause that he lives with Sefer. B'meila and Yonei Aguf don't have a value. They're a tofel to the neshama. It's only for the neshama.
There's 3 minutes left, so either you could be sock him from like just.
Or I could go further. So
Or
what
you
should
go
I do?
further and stop in the middle. So whatever you want. You could do it. What?
Rabbi, the middle needs to stop anyway.
We'll stop 45. It's good.
The Nekudas Advarim is that you have to have the Chayes and Tele Mitzvahs in a new way. That's the Nekudas HaMaimer, that's the Maimer from the Alter Rebbe, the Maimer from the Rebbe. You have a Chayes and Tele Mitzvahs like it's a Chadosh Mamash, like Mamash, a new thing. Not like the Yud Yishana, even like the Yin of Gan Eden and Elam Habo and Elam Atchit, Chisabesim is also not enough. We need to have a Chayes and Tele Mitzvahs in a way that it's a new thing that we just got from the Eibishter, a present from the Eibishter just now. And that shows on time, because the new things only connect with time, but that itself should be constant. It should constantly be connected with the Eibush in a way. We just got a new thing from the Eibush, a present from the Eibush, from where do we get this from? From Atzmas. Why do we need Atzmas? Because or else we'll never be able to have this feeling of a new thing constantly. So that's why it's crucial to have the recognition of Anechi Mitzavcha, that who's commanding me? Anechi, Atzmas Mitzavcha, therefore he has no description of confinement of limitation of gvul and confinement of bleak gvul. They can fuse the two. They work together. That the gvul itself is bleak gvul. Okay, that's the Bekitzer Nimitz.
We'll finish next week.
Baruch Achreinu.